Hello and welcome. We're here now with Marielle Natare. Marielle Natare is one of the individuals that does outreach in a community service model called the Irvington Family Development Center here in Irvington. And what's so important about her mission is that it really helps to encourage a strong relationship in building families. We're very happy about the relationship that we're beginning to build. Certainly Marielle and her organization is involved with our effort of the mission to rebuild the village. And we are existing within the same kind of, I would say, priorities that her organization has been very much a part of. But Marielle has a very strong background in the field of outreach and dealing with families and their survival. Marielle, thank you very much for another opportunity to be able to share with our viewers the very important value that we have in you and the type of accomplishments that you've made in relationship to doing outreach services. You started out as a graduate, I guess, in college and had potential. Did you envision that the type of work that you're doing now would be part of your career?
Well, it really depends on sort of like when in my youth or when during my undergraduate studies we're, thinking about right now. But the funny thing is I actually started my undergraduate degree thinking that I would be in a career around pre-vet, so pre-veterinary medicine. So at that point, no, I did not envision this. But, as the years went on, I became more involved within the public health sector and really started to enjoy what I was learning, and my first internship during my undergraduate years was really around maternal and child health, specifically around fetal alcohol syndrome, around lead poisoning prevention, and the prevention of childhood head injuries and things like that. So that was through the ARC of New Jersey, and that was my first experience really with this type of work, really outreach and figuring out how to provide education to the community around health topics that really concern the youth and parents in particular. So, at that point, I really did see myself in this field, specifically around maternal and child health and family health. And so I did go on to pursue a graduate degree as well. And I received my master's in public health from the University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey. They have a school of public health. And at that point, once I graduated, I started right in this field, specifically around maternal and child health and public health.
The complex layer in regard to identifying to some of the areas seem to have a direction that is more psychological than in terms of it being scientific?
Well, I think that, a lot of it has to do with providing education to individuals in the community so that there's some sort of behavioral change around health. So some sort of either habit changes or education so that individuals are learning more about how to take care of themselves and how to take care of their families. So in that sense, I completely agree. Of course, research and science is always involved because, research studies are always behind all of this new information that comes out and sort of helps drive the focus. So, but what we do really is to support and improve families, but by providing that education and in the hopes that the knowledge and information that they're gaining will really change the way that either they interact with their children or interact with one another, and the behaviors that they take on with regard to their own health.
The Irvington Family Developmental Center is part of an umbrella group.
It is.
Share with us exactly that relationship.
Sure. So the Irvington Family Development Center is actually a program of what's now called the Partnership for Maternal and Child Health of Northern New Jersey. It's actually relatively, well, I should say, I'll put it this way, it was a newly merged entity as of July 1st of 2012, so it's about to be a year now that the agencies have merged together. And actually it was a merger of 3 former agencies, which were all maternal and child health organizations. The state and the government felt that they wanted agencies to merge. There were 6 or 7 maternal and child health organizations in the state at the time, and so the 3 maternal and child health organizations in the northern region merged. So the Irvington Family Development Center was always part of an organization called the Northern New Jersey Maternal and Child Health Consortium. And that organization merged with the Gateway Northwest Maternal and Child Health Network and the Hudson Perinatal Consortium. So at this time, the agency, which has actually, once it's merged, it really grows because now you're covering a lot more territory. So now our organization is actually covering 8 counties of the northern region. So there are now only 3 maternal and child health organizations in the state of New Jersey, North, Central, and South. So they're all regionalized now. And the maternal and child health organizations are actually licensed by the New Jersey Department of Health. And so even though we're newly merged, we really do, we've been in existence for over 20 years now. And the Irvington Family Development Center is still, thankfully, a part of that organization. And the Irvington Family Development Center has actually been in the community of Irvington for 15 years now. Although it's sort of morphed and changed because we really do have to adjust to the needs of the community and also respond to the initiatives that are out there that the governors push. So we do try, and we also have our own efforts. So yeah, we've been, we're so happy to continue to be able to provide the services that we do in the community of Irvington, and we really foresee many more years to come.
How long have you been with the group?
I've been with the Irvington Family Development Center since 2008, so I've been there for a little bit over 5 years now. I started as the manager of the center, and in time I became the director, so now I'm the director of community programs for the partnership organization, and I still oversee right now it's 4 programs at the center, as well as I oversee a program that covers all of Essex County. It's a home visitation program called Healthy Families. That's out of our Newark office, but it does cover Irvington as well. And I also oversee a family success center in Dover.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you're really transient a lot.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm in Irvington most of the week, but every once in a while I do, travel over to Dover. I do, our administrative offices are in Newark, so I do have to travel a little bit.
Well, it's really exciting that an individual can be able to get that kind of an opportunity, especially after going through the challenges of training for it. In most cases, people go through training and education and never land up in the areas that, they actually have a background in. Knowing that you have such a strong relationship of knowing exactly how to create those kinds of resources and services to people in the community, share us exactly what have been the successes in your organizational programs.
Well, I would say just becoming a family success center was a wonderful point in our history for the center. The center actually became a family success center in 2007. It sort of transitioned from what was formerly known as a FACES program, and it actually allowed us to expand our reach, because as a FACES program, we really were just focusing on women and children, and young children at that, so women and children 0 to 6 years old. Once we became a Family Success Center, we were really able to provide services for anyone, so children of all ages, women, men, so because the focus is really families. So that really is a success in my book, because you're able to have a bigger impact, and you're able to sort of be able to reach the community as a whole. Also, we were able to open up a fatherhood program in Irvington. That was about 4 years ago. So, and that program has shifted and changed over time as well. It's actually now going through a pretty major shift in funding and programming that we're able to implement. But we actually also have a new program on board. I would say maybe 6 months ago we have a new program that's been co-located now at the Irvington Family Development Center, and it's around teen pregnancy prevention.
Okay.
So that's new as well. So just really the growth and the changes that we have been able to see at the Irvington Family Development Center for me has really shown what our successes have been. Also just our ability to be flexible and to kind of move with the times and what's happening within the community. And one program that I didn't mention is the Family Outreach Program, and we've been offering that program in the community for probably about 10 years now or so.
Looking at it from that perspective and understanding exactly what your role has to be in relationship to people being aware that you totally exist, you have created a number of different programs that have been able to provide the kind of encouragement and dedication of growing families in a positive way. I'm particularly interested in hearing about your grandparents program.
Oh, sure. That's actually a part of our Family Success Center program. And it was actually born from an idea that one of our parent advisory board members had. The Family Success Centers statewide actually have what's known as parent or community advisory boards.
Mm-hmm.
And the purpose of those is to have the input of the community members right there on the spot. They actually are able to provide information back from the community to our center so that we can mold our workshops and the types of services and activities that we provide. Mm-hmm. So one of the members, her name is Rochelle Barber, and she actually had a passion for providing services or finding services for grandparents in the community and figuring out a way to provide additional support services for that population. And so we actually provided some support, and we got some advice from some local organizations, and the board actually was able to implement a grandparent support group. So that's basically what it is now. It happens every month. If anyone's interested, they're more than welcome to call the center and find out when that program is taking place every month. And it's been great. You know, we actually recently celebrated our first anniversary, and we held it at the center, and it was a proud moment for the center, but specifically really for the members of the advisory board. It's really their success. And that sort of goes to show the type of programming that we have at the Family Success Center. We try our best to respond to the community and what the needs and what the wants of the community are, and work in partnership with the families to reach those goals.
Now, are there any fees for the people in the community who want to participate with your outreach effort?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
None of our programs have a fee attached to them. We even do free pregnancy testing at the site, and there's no fee attached to that as well.
And I think that in many aspects, the activities that do go on are encouraging. And in looking at the idea of being able to look in regard to preparing, people of all ages in particular, the specifics of how you go about doing it is through an outreach method, and we're very proud to say that we're going to be partnering in an official manner, working with the Irvington Family Development Center in terms of getting the message out about their outreach. The relationship that you have been able to dedicate time in regard to the father, really mentoring fathers,
Sure.
in the capacity of knowing exactly what their role is and how to equip them with resources, has made a tremendous impact in our communities. You're also working in the schools with this program. Exactly how does that work?
So the program is called the Fellas Fatherhood Program of Essex County, and it's actually, Fellas stands for Fathers Empowered to Learn, Lead, and Achieve Success. And that program, as I mentioned before, is actually really shifting in terms of its focus, and really that's just because of dollars, really. It's because of budgetary changes. The entire program, as most people I think even right now know about it, we have had 2 full-time staff members for about 4 years now who've been implementing a curriculum called 24/7 Dad that was developed by the National Fatherhood Initiative. They've, in addition to doing the 24/7 Dad course, they've been doing support groups, they've been doing individual support, and they even had a community advisory board. And that had been hugely successful. We had tons of fathers going through the program, and this is a 12-week course.
Right.
So sometimes it's hard to retain fathers through a course that is that lengthy, but we were really able to have a ton of fathers come through the program. Unfortunately, what I will say, the funding for that program is what's considered seed funding, which means, and it actually came originally from, it's pass-through funding from a federal community-based child abuse prevention program through the Department of Children and Families. So we knew from the beginning it was going to be a 3-year project. We were so grateful that at the end of the 3rd year we received notification that we would be able to extend for a 4th year. So we're actually currently in our 4th year, and the components that I just mentioned right now, the 24/7 dad, the support groups and the individual support, as well as the community advisory board, that part of, which is a huge chunk, that part of the program is actually unfortunately ending on June 30th. So that's next month, at the end of next month, because of the fact that there has been no funding source that has been able to continue support of that program. What we did, however, and this is sort of what you were talking about a little bit, is what we did is, and in anticipation of the end of that funding, what we did was we requested from a couple of other funding sources, including the Township of Irvington, including the Schumann Fund and the Terrell Fund, which are some private sources. We requested that we shift our focus to fatherhood for those grants so that we would be able to continue at least something for fathers in this community. So we were able to adopt a new curriculum. It's called Dad Ventures, and that Dad Ventures program right now is being run by a gentleman named Lee Best, and that program is for fathers of children around preschool age, young children, and it's an opportunity to get fathers together with their children, short 15-20 minute sessions over the course of several weeks, and just quick sort of reminders and activities and things that fathers can do with their child at that time. And it's just sort of a way to increase their activity, increase their interaction in a positive way. And what we're doing is we feel that this program is best implemented, or more easily implemented, through the local schools in Irvington. So we have been really in the process of communicating with various preschools, in addition to the Irvington Board of Education, to get permission to come into the schools and start to implement some of these sessions. And we've received positive feedback so far. We've actually been able to complete a group so far at the Dove Community School, and they've been very open and supportive and welcoming to us, and so we're very grateful to them for that. And we're looking forward to next year, in September, starting the next school year with more of a presence at the schools implementing that program.
Do you find it to be a difficult task in relationship to having a relationship with the parents, and many of them not having the opportunity to spend as much time as they would like to in your program?
Well, I think parent engagement is so important. It's important for the development of children. It's important for their education. It's just really important in all aspects. And it's also important for our centers to really engage parents to become more vocal parts of the community, and even within our center, through our advisory board. We have a very good group. They're very engaged, and it is extremely important. It really is. But we don't find it to be, I think it depends. Sometimes it is difficult, and sometimes the parents are just very passionate, and so they do come out. They participate. We do monthly parent-child activities through our Family Success Center. So, and they do come out. They come with their children, and they participate in activities, and they have a good time. For a program like Dad Ventures, that is a different dynamic. You're talking about fathers with their children, and it really depends who's picking the kid up from school. So sometimes it could be the mom. So it could be a little bit of a shift to have the father to come pick them up. But the fathers have been willing so far.
What's even more important about our relationship is that we're going to be teaming up with the Irvington Family Development Center to create a mentoring outreach project during the summer, and we look forward to building those kinds of opportunities to create awareness and give some kind of, leadership role in the community, especially with our young people. The advantage that you have in what you do is primarily because of the fact that it does focus on building families. What type of people actually have been really looking towards getting your services? And I guess I mean, are there referrals? Are there walk-ins? Are Are you out looking for people to be a part of the program because there are certain types of resources that you have available? What is it that draws attention to what you're doing in that relationship?
Sure. Well, you don't need a referral, first of all. No one needs a referral to come to our center. Walk-ins are always welcome. Sometimes it depends on what the service is that you're looking for. For example, if someone is looking for assistance with a resume or cover letter and may need a good hour or two to work with somebody, we do request that they call ahead of time and make sure that the individual has the time allotted on their schedule to be able to provide that service. But for really anything else, we provide a lot of referrals out, so people don't normally need to make an appointment or anything for that. We have practically, I mean, we really don't even have any eligibility requirements. I know some other centers may, or other types of organizations may provide services only to a very specific type of individual or in an income bracket or something. We don't have any of those regulations, so we really provide services for anyone. And we do, in terms of really doing outreach, I mean, one of the things that's most important to us is to do outreach around our workshops, just to make sure that we get people in the door and make sure that we get participation. But for the program's services, we actually exceed by a lot, by at least fourfold, the contracted number of families that we arrange with our funder to reach. So we don't necessarily need to do outreach to recruit families to access the services, because we exceed that number by a lot. But we do flyers and things like that for our events and our workshops when we really want people to attend an educational workshop or an event or something like that. And normally that's just through flyers, and we normally have a pretty extensive email listserv where we email things out, but then we also print flyers and distribute them throughout the community, and leave them in different places like the library and things like that.
And it really is a pretty good marketing effort, and the idea about what the many things that you do in terms of your outreach services has been very effective in the community. We want to continue to encourage people to participate with the Irvington Family Development Center and be able to find ways in which the services that they offer can be useful for your family life. Some of the things that are really going to be also clearly important is how we're able to contact you and your organization, and certainly through We Care Partners, we're going to do what we need to do to continue to improve upon our relationship with you as well. If anyone wanted to get in contact with you, what number can they give?
You can call 973-372-4353, or you can just walk into our office at 50 Union Avenue, Suite 403 in Irvington, New Jersey. And we're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, and on Thursdays we're open till 7 o'clock.
All right. Well, we're very happy again about the opportunity. You'll be seeing information about upcoming events that will be held at the Irvington Family Development Center. And we're going to be putting together some, I guess we'll call it dynamic projects in relationship to having a number of different ways in which to raise the effort of awareness in relationship to what this very valuable program does for our community with this very valuable young lady who runs it. We thank you very much for coming by and sharing with us again. And we appreciate every time that you tune in. Please contact us and let us know how you feel about our programming. My number is 973-847-1983, or email me at Herbert, Herbert, D, as in Dwayne, Glenn, Glenn, Herbert D. Glenn at yahoo.com. Thanks again, Marielle.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you. Have a good day.